Okay, if you're suffering with sore knees, tight hips, bad back, I am going to go and throw all my money on black and bet that your glutes are probably one of the major factors as to why those things are sore. Your glutes are a huge muscle, 3D muscle, and work pretty much the same as your shoulder. Your hip joint should be able to move like your shoulder joint and has a huge amount of range of motion, a huge amount of different movements. And if one of those movement patterns is wrong, then it affects how the rest of the chain works and usually ends up with a bad back. So I'm going to show you 5 exercises that I use to stabilize my hip, strengthen my glutes, and give me a little bit more explosive power when I do the crazy stuff that you do in the gym. So let's get to it. Okay. The peachy bum is what most people are trying to find when they do glute training. Spend all day long doing leg extensions, leg kickbacks, donkey kicks, all those aesthetic movements to build a peachy bum. If you've been sat at a desk for your whole life or drive or do jobs that aren't very active, your glutes tend to go to sleep. So those exercises, although great, they can't get the glutes firing very well. We need to do exercises that are going to wake them up and get them into a position to be able to support our everyday activities. They're the strongest muscle that we have, and we use them to walk, climb stairs, pick up the kids, anything where we go from a hinge to an upright position. Your glutes are the major mover because they support the spine and protect it. So if you're struggling with sore knees, sore hips, and a sore back, then these exercises are going to bring stability, a little bit of proprioception, so balance, but they're going to start to bring those glutes back to life, ready to be able to do the things that you need them to do. So let's get cracking with exercise 1, the glute bridge. Okay, exercise 1 to wake up those glutes is going to be the glute bridge. However, we're going to do it with a little twist. We're going to test out, see how long it takes for your glutes to fire up. So the first position that we want is lie back. Bring the heels up to your butt. Heels up to your butt, so that when we do the glute bridge, the shins are pretty much parallel or perpendicular to the floor. That's what we want. You're going to get yourself a timer. You're going to squeeze up to the top, and then you're going to straighten out the left leg. So we're aiming to hit 1 minute of hold. So we're aiming to hold for 1 minute, and we want to see what's working. So I've got my left leg working now. Am I in my glutes? Am I in my hamstrings? Or am I in my low back? I want to keep the knees level. Keep pushing through the glutes. So it looks like I'm pretty good on the glutes on the left side. I can feel my hamstrings a little bit, but my glutes are working more than my hamstrings, barely. Okay, 1 minute. Then you're going to take a little break. Then you're going to squeeze. You're going to lift. And you're going to do the other side. Is it glutes? Is it hamstrings? Is it back? What are we working? Can we keep that position for a minute? Does one side go quicker than the other? Does it fatigue? Do you get cramp? Let me know. Whichever one you find is the strongest. So do a minute each side. See which one is the best. If you get cramp in there and you can't do it, so let's say the left side is for a minute, but the right side I can only do 30 seconds. That shows an imbalance. If you're using your hamstrings more on one side than the glutes on the other, then that's another imbalance as well. Things that we'll work on as we go. So once you've done that, finish with some glute bridges and we'll be good to go. Remember, squeeze the glutes, nice and high with the hips, and tuck your abs in for the glute bridges. That's what we want. Exercise 2. Exercise 2 is the clamshell. Now again, we're going to tweak this a little bit so we get that glute med working a bit better. So you're going to get that little 90 degrees at the hip, 90 degrees at the knee there. So 90 degrees at the knee, 90 degrees at the hip, and we want to be able to push and drive that top leg out. That is the goal. So I love an isometric hold when it comes to the clamshell to fire up the glutes. And this way of doing it is the most effective way I've found to really get a burn. So if you think about the dimple in your butt, that's where we want to feel this clamshell variation. So if you've got a band, just put it up around the knees. We're going to then get into that side lying position, bend the knees, bend at the hip, and we're going to push into that clamshell. So I'm driving through the floor with this leg, driving up to the ceiling with this one. And I'm going to hold it for 30 seconds. Now you may think that this is going to be the major worker, but it's not. It's this leg, the bottom leg. And my butt is starting to burn like crazy. So you're going to hold for 30 seconds, and then we're going to change sides. So flip round, just for the camera. So from here, this leg pushes down, this leg pushes up, and there you have the clamshell. 30 seconds. Start feeling that glute, that dimple position. See how that is burning. Once it starts to burn, that's it starting to grow. Okay, the quicker you get it to burn, the quicker that it's working, and the quicker you're activating the muscle, and that's what we want. So that's exercise 2 done. Let's go to number 3. All right, so exercise 3, we're going to do a hip aeroplane. I'm going to pop you there. So we're going to find ourselves a pose to be able to stand on or grab hold of. Okay, from there I'm going to hinge, sticking out that back leg, and I want to turn my toe to the sky, this toe to the sky, and then down to the floor and back to the beginning. So hinge, turn that toe up, turn that toe under, and then up. You will feel that same dimple position. So as you drive into that hip hinge, this hip starts to stabilize. And when you do the turn up, you are internally rotating the hip. And when you do that, that glute med works a treat. On to exercise 4. Okay, if you're at home, use a sofa and grab something that you can put your feet on. If you've got a 25 kilo disc knocking about, use a 25 kilo disc. If you haven't, use the cat or something. That'll work just as good. So range of motion. By having my feet elevated, means I can go a little bit lower with the hip thrust. Okay, so from here, I can squeeze the glutes. I can then get nice and low with the hips, and it just creates a little bit more range for the hips, for the glutes to fire. So remember, as you get to the top, squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the glutes. If you don't squeeze, there's no point, okay? Just be careful on that one as you get to the top. If you start feeling your lower back, then you're not squeezing your glutes enough, okay? Take it slow. Don't search for a really high range of motion. If, when you get to the top, your back is like this and you're starting to pinch a little bit in there, that's no good. So squeeze the abs, squeeze the glutes, and lift, and make sure everything's feeding in the glutes. On to the 5th and final exercise. So exercise 5, we're going to do a reverse lunge. Now, we've done lunges loads up to now. We're going to try and make this a focused dominant or a glute focused dominant lunge. Now, without the disc first, you're going to step back and touch the knee down. Now, to make it a glute dominant exercise, we want to lean forward at the bottom. Okay, here we start at the top. So as we lunge back, Lean forward, gets a big stretch on the glutes so that when I stand up, push the hips forward, get the glutes working, they are going to burn. There. So that makes it glute dominant. Now, if you want to make it a bit harder, we can do it off of a box or a step. So as I step back, touch down, and then the extra depth really gets those glutes firing. So that's the 5th exercise. Make sure you take it steady, and we want activation. So if you're not feeling your glutes, you're feeling your back or your hamstrings, then dial it back, squeeze the glutes harder, take it a bit slower, and make sure that the peach is burning. Okay, so there you have the 5 exercises to build and wake up those glutes. And that is the key. We're trying to wake up the glutes and get them firing in the right order. We want the glutes, then the hamstrings, and then the back to give us a really good solid hip hinge. So to put this into practice, those first 3 exercises, you can do those every day and get those glutes active. The strengthening exercises, the lunge and the bridges, maybe we can do those every other day, 10 to 12 reps. See how you feel, and that's the goal. All right, make sure that we can feel the glutes. We want those glutes to be getting nice and active, supporting the hip, supporting the back, supporting the knees. And as you go through this program for maybe 3-4 weeks, you'll start to see those little improvements throughout the day. Maybe that backache will diminish a little bit, the knees will start to be a bit more solid, and you'll be moving much, much better. So, as I say, the first 3 exercises every day for 4 weeks. The second 2 exercises every other day, 10 to 12 reps, a couple of sets to go. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give those 5 exercises a try. If you'd like it written down in a format that's easy to follow, click in the description and I've got the plan, the 3-week plan in there for you to give it a go. If you'd like a little bit more help, then there's a free starter guide in the description. A week's training plan that lays it all out for you so you can follow it, implement it, and see how you get on. Hopefully those glutes are fired up and woken up in no time at all. If you enjoyed the video and you'd like to learn a little bit more about the hips, check out my hip video here.